I mean, if you say that they've missed more bans than anyone globally, that's because teams generally don't miss bans, Zirene. At least unintentionally, which has happened a few times. We are in a champs league though, so we'll see what happens here. Ryze and Camille, things looking good so far on the Immortal side, and there's Varus ban for Team Envy, so very standard stuff here.
Yeah, and so the point of like the miss ban thing is this is a team that likes to think a lot about what they're gonna do, what the pick ban phase looks like, but when they get there, it has to be those 30 seconds. You get 30 seconds to ban, you have to be able to just rattle one off and know what you're going for and figure it out because they spend so much time deliberating. It costs them.
Both these teams actually have a lot of unique picks between them. Olleh has played a very different support pool than a lot of others. Envy, everyone seems to have a pocket pick or two lined up and ready to go, but particularly pointing at Seraph and Ninja, who have always had some eccentricity to their champion pool. And there's Shen ban for Immortals, as Envy going to go with their last one. It's LeBlanc, so very standard for the first 6. We'll see what Immortals want to first pick here. Graves is the obvious choice, but plenty to go with here. Yeah,
Malzahar support is usually banned quite frequently now, but against Olleh, it doesn't seem to happen because past Immortals have actually just let it go through and not have to pick it up at all.
That would be an interesting first pick. I mean, Flame has been performing on more of the carry-style champions.
I think it's good. I think that the Rumble and the Jace are both premier top laners and mid laners right now for Jace. And there isn't really much that hard counters it in the top lane in the lane phase.
Yeah, I mean, Flame, the kind of player that loves to bully people, loves to get ahead and stay ahead really in his lane, particularly if Dardoch can come up and help. So it's a strong first pick for him. He's had some of the most impactful games for Immortals on this champion, but they are giving over Graves. They're going to have to make some sort of trade here, but curious to see that Immortals clearly favor Rumble over something like Graves, which Envy are going to take here.
Yep, Graves for LirA, who's just been having great performances pretty consistently. It's just transitioning from the early game, having those big score lines in the gold advantage in the jungle to his lanes. Mostly he'll visit Seraph and Ninja, but those are two of the most inconsistent laners that we've seen in the NALCS so far, where Seraph and Ninja hit or miss. Apollo is consistent, but it's really those laners. You don't know if they're going to win you the game or lose you the game that time, and there's 2 of them. And you only need one person to lose you the game.
Yeah, well, there's Malzahar for Envy is their second pick. AShe and Misfortune very quickly locked in for Immortals. So again, Olleh going to be taking a support that we haven't seen as much of. Malzahar getting quite a few bans, but he's a relatively standard counter pick, so I like it there.
Yeah,
on the Immortals side.
Like the counter pick, but also Jhin on the table, and they say, well, we'll take the AShe instead. Good matchup into the Jhin that they seem to favor. And it's a good combo, too. You think about when Misfortune first made her appearance, it was with AShe as the AD carry to arrow into the bullet time.
Yep, pretty good combo there, as Renekton's actually the pick for Seraph. So as far as top laners that can challenge Rumble, I think Renekton is one of them that's starting to rise in popularity. This does mean that Immortals have a pretty easy path of banning out that Jhin for Apollo, but I think, you know, he's actually okay with it. He loves his Ezreal, he loves his Caitlyn, and those are champions that are also rising up.
Zig, etc.
So there's a Kha'Zix ban for Team Envy. We'll see what happens here on the Immortals side. Do they go after the AD carries, or do they have something else in mind?
I think you go for the AD carries here. And mid lane is just too much to actually ban out Ninja's champion pool where the guy's like Pantheon and random stuff in it. Yeah.
Kassadin.
Yeah, so what you do here is you ban out the Ziggs, not P1 stop laner. You ban out the Ziggs so that they can't have an AP bot and play a Talon, a Zed, some type of physical damage assassin for Ninja in the mid lane.
We'll see what Envy have. Jace actually is their next one, so another solid laner being taken away. Not doubling up on jungle bans here. And there's the Jhin ban for Immortal. So smart stuff in phase 2 for their bans, but Envy going to get first pick out of this phase. It looks like they might want... Oh, they already have a jungler, so they don't need that. Actually just blocking the jungler off from Dardoch by banning Kha'Zix, picking Graves already. So I guess mid lane's an option, but they probably wanted to counter pick. And this is kind of what I thought Apollo was going to do anyway. Take something like Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, Sivir wouldn't be bad as well. There is going to be the Caitlyn for the extra range up against the AShe, so he isn't completely bullied out of the lane.
Apollo does not strike me as a Sivir player, but it's certainly an option there.
Yeah, and this is also quite good with the Malzahar because if you just put a trap down after the Malzahar ulti, it's that extra combo, it's that extra damage coming through.
Cool, there's Elise for Dardoch, a pick he's hard carried on in actually a number of games in recent memory. But Immortals do need to blind pick a mid laner, and Pobelter is going to give us Talon.
Oh, baby, I love me some Talon. This is great. The Elise and the Rumble will take care of the physical damage, or the magic damage, and then the physical damage will come from the AShe and the Talon. But it's a blind pick Talon. He doesn't know what he's going up against yet.
We'll have to see what Envy have in store. because they did want to counter pick. They'll take a very safe pick here in Ekko. But it's nice to see Pobelter going back to Assassins. It's funny to me, Pobelter is a player that we always joke about being a veteran because it's true. He's just been playing for 5, 6+ years, pretty much ever since competitive started in the game. And I felt like, you know, he started as a young, mechanically gifted player, playing a lot of solo queue, like the Assassins, then moved to competitive, had to learn how to play control mages, and so much of his time last year on Immortals was just being this strong pivot that his team could work around, particularly in the top side of the map with Huni and Reignover being on the team. So Pobelter maybe feels he needs a bit more agency in these games to actually carry. Talon's a pretty good champion to make flashy plays on.
Yeah, and this is a good barometer for where he is right now, because Talon is a champion that you can make very few mistakes on, and you have to be proactive. Pobelter's biggest weakness up against Piglet was he allowed himself to get crushed by an aggressive laner. Now he's playing an aggressive lane up against Ninja on Ekko, who has teleport. You can't really have many errors in this lane because the Ekko has way more leeway in terms of getting back to the lane healthy.
Also compositionally, Immortals have drafted a lot of damage, but not a lot of defensive capability. Even though support doesn't have disengage or shielding, there's no like Zyra, no Karma, nothing like that. So could run into some problems trying to kill Team EnVy, but if they can stay ahead of any defenses there from EnVy and snowball the game, should be in a good position.
Yeah, they have some soft engage with the slows. It's kind of, they're looking for picks with Cocoon, and they're looking for Ashe arrows.
Should be able to get them, I guess we'll see. I think Pobelter again will have to look. Can he roam, make impact there? Will Ekko follow him? How is he going to play the lane versus Ninja? Taking something like Talon blind is risky in a lot of different ways, but Immortals, I think, again, drafting confidently. It all starts with the first pick rumble here for me. This is a champion Flame can carry on. Dardoch wants to play aggressively, and Pobelter's decided that he's going to join his top side of the map in doing that as well.
Yep, Pobelter with something to prove here. Assassin mid laner takes the Ignite on top of it. We'll see if he starts roaming and affecting the side lanes, because what you want to do is not necessarily group up as Talon. You want to go have those skirmishes. You want to have those large, impactful fights that are with 1 or 2 people against each other. That's where he really shines.
Well, we're on to the rift now for Immortals versus EnVy. EnVy, of course, very good at getting early leads, so Immortals are going to have to make sure they don't fall too far behind, but we will be looking on the EnVy side. If they can get those leads again, LirA certainly enabled with a jungler like Graves to do so, but converting at macro level has been tricky for both these teams. Immortals seem pretty good at it when they're ahead, especially when they're significantly ahead. But we've seen just as many games fall apart for them, so it's going to be a fun series.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, too, because we've talked about how sometimes Dardoch ends up costing the team. And this is a composition that you don't get a lot of leeway with. This is really risky. They're all squishy. If somebody gets fed, like the Renekton, how are you going to deal with that? You have to have enough damage to actually offset the amount of tankiness and damage that he'll have, because everybody on Immortal's team is like a target that you're okay with hitting, regardless of who you are. So Assassin Ekko is fine jumping on a Talon, a Misfortune, an Ashe, anything.
Well, looks like level 1. Actually have a bit of a scuffle here around the Raptor camp. EnVy grouping with quite a number of people. Pobelter trying to help out, but here's Apollo just going to poke them down. Dardoch drags the camp into the brush, though, and gets almost all of them. Olleh and Cody Sun going to try and cut off Hakuho and Apollo. And there's a good make it rain there onto Hakuho. It takes good damage there from Cody Sun. Voiding's starting to go down as well. And they'll be there to lane first. EnVy have to walk the long way around.
Yep. Raptor starts for both the junglers, gets them at level 2, and then they can kill the last one pretty quickly. But then the bottom side, Hakuho actually, took the brunt of that trade. This is the Misfortune counter pick that we like to talk about. The Thunderlords with the E. Ninja hits 2 and goes in right then. That's actually really good execution, but he does seem to lose a bit of that trade.
Good hop back in from Pobelter, actually. Uses the Q to dart forward, poke Ninja down. Should be kind of a rough start for Talon, although Pobelter actually looking good now, right?
Going after him.
Nolan. He's got Ignite as well. Ignite down Pobelter! There's a solo kill.
He got the stacks, and then he still stuck around. The Q closed the distance. The last auto there pops it, bleeds, and then puts Ignite on it. This is why Talon is just, it's so interesting of a champion right now, because there isn't really anything that he does that you're just like, man, no wonder he's meta. It's like, he just does a lot of damage, and he punishes people who can't play defense well.
Yeah, it does feel a little narrow, but he's so strong in the early game. And Pobelter, he's using everything. He's just going to TP back to lane, but that's a good amount of extra good for Pobelter, who played that situation wonderfully. And again, we're kind of asking Pobelter, can you perform on, more proactive champions? Well, pretty straightforward solo kill there for him. Flame and Seraph, though, having a battle. Flame is going to be playing aggressively, no matter the matchup, but particularly with Rumble, even into someone like Renekton. Flame is comfortable in any sort of duel, and even Dardoch's up here, maybe even fancying a tower dive. Level 4 for the Elise already.
Yeah, think so.
He's going to move forward. Cocoon does hit max range there. Now Flame going to move in for the dive. Dardoch already taking tower aggro, can repel out, and that's great kills there for Immortals as Flame picks up one.
Seraph actually didn't have a point in his W. He has 2 points in Q, 1 in E, so he doesn't have his stun, had no way to keep them underneath the turret.
I have to wonder if maybe even Flame could recognize that given the situation, just based on the raw damage, but unfortunate for Seraph, I don't think was getting out of that situation anyway.
Speaking of getting out of situations.
Oh, LirA now trying to make a proactive play. Cody Sun going to take some damage. Olleh dodges around the back half of the queue. Boarding's going to go down. 3 summoners there, but no successful kill for LirA.
Yeah, but it's just get pressure off of Apollo because he's actually chunked out here and down about 10 CS. So it's the help, it's the assistance that they were looking for.
Oh, the Voidlings, you got to shoot them. Cody Sun and Olleh going to team up to make sure they get taken out, but Potion's all out for Apollo. Olleh still has some, so he's going to eat through the rest of them.
Yep. Gonna have to Warlord's Bloodlust himself back up. Still taking that mastery. We've seen some people like Arrow actually swap to Fervor, even on Ashe.
Yeah, it's just all the buffs it received really just got a big boost in power.
Yeah, and this is interesting as well for Immortals, because I talked about how EnVy solo laners hit or miss. Ninja gets solo killed, Seraph blows both summoners, doesn't put a point in W and gets killed. He's trying to max Q and like get extra points in it early. And top lane.
That was cute.
Yeah, that was nice. Walks backwards to get the parkour over. But yeah, Flame still has his flash, which could be a big deal here up against Seraph on Renekton.
Pobelter thinking about a recall, but actually hasn't spent his money yet, I don't think. So drinks his last potion, wants to maybe stay in lane, get level 6, or just get a bit of extra CS for an item breakpoint. Yeah,
it was the TP that came through for Ninja that got him back to lane and kept pressure on after the kill. Yeah, he's looking for it. Return to the scene of the crime.
Instant red ping there from EnVy, knowing that Dardoch, he's probably here again. LirA's coming up to try and match him, but Dardoch's going to get the jump. Cocoon is down. There's the venomous fight, and LirA just has to book it. Repel's going to fall. Flash out there, and Dardoch does go in for it. Oh, he gets the Q. Needs to repel up, but he's got his solo laner there. Great flash forward from Flame, but Seraph's going to get the kill back, and now Flame just has to whack him to death. Ninja's up here.
Oh, it's overheated again.
Flame is going to go down.
Hit or miss, baby. They start off 0-2, and they get 2 kills back. Oh, man. EnVy back in the game a bit here. Seraph doesn't go down, and he starts getting an advantage in that top lane with an assist to boot.
And, of course, Pobelter, a little greedy on the recall. Does buy a little extra time, and Ninja makes it there first.
Yeah, they all start roaming up there because Pobelter hadn't backed. He was out of mana like we were talking about, so he actually has to back now. So it's 3 people against 2 in the top side, and Dardoch takes this, goes in, gets that last Q when it just came back off cooldown. Seraph with enough damage there to blow him up, and then runs to the minion wave. At first, when he E'd through Flame, I was like, what is he doing? He's actually just going to get himself killed. And hold on. Ah, okay,
Dardoch
get himself killed.
Seraph with the ultimate, though, but I'm not sure Elise can win this 1v1. Seraph's still going. Needs to wait for the repel. Q should be enough. No, Dardoch gets the 1v1.
Oh, speaking of 1v1, something else happened on the other side of the map.
Pobelter's dead.
That wasn't a 1v1. That was like a 3-on-1, but I don't know.
Maybe a tower dive involved in there as well. Pobelter leapt over a wall and got himself killed instantly. So I like the roam attempt, but did not work out for the IMT mid laner.
I was watching PLT the other day with Mark and Scar on it, and he was talking about how no champion dies as fancy as Talon. He jumps into 5 people, jumps into 3 people. Feels good, man. Parkour's over. LirA's like, wait a second. Hold on. Even with the ulti on, tries to come back in, tries to deal damage. Nope. Peacemaker in the back of the head. But you jump over and you're just like, oh, I'm here. Oops.
Well, I like the attempt, but no ultimates available for Cody or Olleh, so a bit of a tricky one to convert.
I will say, though, LirA has the right instinct. He's in the right place at the right time, but not necessarily that one that was top. He was in the right place. That was just a different time because Dardoch was there earlier and it got him killed.
I mean, I didn't expect Dardoch to flash under a tower to kill him, but that's Dardoch, I suppose.
Yeah.
Did take LirA out. Pobelter reset himself back to mid lane, still with a little CS lead, and ultimate will come back up nice and quickly if Pobelter does want to again shove the lane out and try and get a more successful roam off. But LirA now trying to take over Dardoch's jungle. Doesn't have his ulti, used it to kill Pobelter in that last exchange, but he's going to get some info here. Might even get a red buff. Walks up. Nope. Dardoch with the smite.
Dardoch with the quick fingers on that one, picks that up. Hakuho close to level 6 because Olleh and Cody Sun have hit that. And Ninja, he's actually getting 3 stacks on him pretty quickly from Pobelter. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but against a melee mid laner, it definitely is much easier to execute on. I like that he went for the honey fruit there.
Get all his health back. Hakuho, good flash. Nice arrow though from Cody Sun. Good awareness to be like, wait, I can try and get this here with the passive drops. Ultimate traded there for Apollo, who chunks out poor Cody. And Olleh's just trying to clear this ward, does successfully take the control ward down.
Yeah, do it while they can, because Hakuho was about to hit 6. Had to blow his flash there, so now he doesn't have flash ulti.
Seraph back in again, stuns in onto Flame. Flame looking the wrong way.
Tried to click back, because the minion wave got stunned right then.
Flame, they're going to clear this out. Still with a CS lead, but Seraph's playing it nice and close. And again, these two should just be trading aggressively back and forth. I think we're going to have to keep looking at LirA and Dardoch. You know, where are they going and what's their timing look like? Because every lane is extremely volatile.
Pobelter is actually going to pick up this blue buff. Dardoch's holding it so long for him. Pobelter was delayed. He'll throw out a rake and pick it up.
Doesn't want to hop over.
He doesn't want to.
It's a disaster.
But he'll blast cone into hop. Yep.
All right, makes it over the wall. A little awkward, but gets what he came for. Ninja still pushing it in with his own blue buff, but Pobelter doing pretty nicely in the lane so far. I mean, again, that mishap in the bottom lane looks a bit silly, but the theory is right there for the play. You want to get out of lane as Talon and try and be impactful. It's nice to see Pobelter playing a different style of champion and making it work for the most part.
Yeah, and when he gets to the higher levels of the W, he can throw out the W, and then the marks will stay on the person about the same duration, or about the same cooldown as the W itself. So you can actually stack marks on somebody when you have a little bit of CDR, and then go in for the Q.
Just a little safer there. Spam out the W. Use what range you have as Talon.
Yeah, because once you get those 3, because we haven't seen this champion a lot since
it's been
worked. So when you get 3, you auto-attack the person, and then you get a bleed on them, and it's a substantial bleed, which is how we got that first blood. But you throw out the rake, it'll stack 1 on both the exit and the entry. Just
for some clarity, abilities build up the stacks on the auto-attack proxim, so you need to do quite a lot of work to actually get it all together. CDR is certainly going to help there. See Pobelter 5 levels now in the W. He's maxing that as expected. And with the blue buff able to shove up pretty quickly, Dardoch down here in the bottom lane. Looks like the next target's pretty obvious. LirA spotted though, I think. Pobelter trying to make his way over safely, but should be able to leap over a wall. LirA though, first to the scene, is going to force Dardoch away. And that's going to be Envy clearing out the control ward there in the tri-bush. So again, Dardoch and LirA doing a really good job tracking each other throughout the early stages of this game.
It's hard to track a Moby Boots Elise. Elise just gets around the map so quickly that it changes all of your internal timings of, all right, could she be here or here? So now they're just throwing down wards. He actually took the Tracker's Knife as opposed to, both of them did, as opposed to going for the Skirmisher Saber. LirA wants to get that last shot on. There you go.
Smoke screens it, make sure Pobelter doesn't steal it. Hakuho now level 6. No flash, but it has the exhaust, so pretty easy pick if they can find somebody. Instead, Voidling will slowly approach Dardoch.
They move much faster when they're close to Malzahar. They get increased movement speed. And when he leaves them away, they get real sad.
Yeah, Malzahar did this with quite a number of changes, but still super solid, I think mainly due to the strength of his ultimate. It's Ninja with his arm guard. Yeah, pretty good. Running collapse here though.
Yeah, running to his jungler, whereas LirA is up on this side too. Now they're going to see where LirA is, so it's a group effort here, team effort, tracking the enemy jungle.
Yeah, let's have a look at actually the CS now, because we had so much action early on with 7 kills, but things have slowed down a bit.
Yep, right now though, Flame entering with Dardoch, Moby Boots around, Red Buff's about to come back up. Both top laners are actually here. Inside track for Pobelter, spotted by LirA.
Ooh, maybe going to get blown up here. Pobelter pops the ultimate, does get damage back onto LirA. But Dardoch now going to have to fight his way out. Flame is here already. It's actually 2v3 right now for Envy. Teleport in.
from Ninja.
Looking for something. Seraph goes down. Good equalizer from Flame, but Seraph's already in the mix. Big damage onto Dardoch and Flame, but Blast Cone's out. Says hello to the Rift Herald, and IMT disengage.
Yeah, they got the teleport out of Ninja, but he comes back with Azonia's Hourglass, and then they still get the red buff. So it was a good equalizer by Flame, but I think that it actually didn't affect Seraph enough to matter, and LirA picks it up with a smite.
Good catch on the Hourglass as well. I think Ninja, pretty smart itemization versus such a deadly assassin. Already got himself killed once in lane. Make sure that doesn't happen again as Hakuho eats the arrow. Ulti follow-up from Olleh.
He interrupted the ultimate as well with that arrow. He actually pops the W, and then the arrow is in transit, while the ultimate is coming out. So got rid of the spell shield and then gets it out.
Yep, certainly got to do that in the right order, but nice job there from the IMT duo lane. And Seraph are going to get dove again by Dardoch.
He's going to try to walk this way.
I'm out.
Yep.
Peace. Seraph just books it back to his tier 2.
Well, also his jungler is on the bottom side of the map trying to help out Apollo and Hakuho, who both are chunked out now, trying to get them some lane pressure. But this will be first turret going over to Flame. And they gonna split it? They do split it.
Yeah, I mean, of all the people on IMT to get early gold, Dardoch and Flame are probably the two best.
Yeah. I will say, though, Cody Sun and Olleh have been playing better. When they played up against TL, you know, it didn't end up going the way of Immortals overall, but they didn't look bad at all. They actually got the better of Youngbin in the bottom lane, the newer guy, new addition to the NALCS. But it's been looking pretty good for them, and it's still, this matchup, once again, Cody Sun seems to be a bit up.
And IMT, 2,500 gold ahead already. CS leads in every lane. Dardoch's actually the only one in his position that's behind, but he should be up in gold given the fact that he has those two kills versus the 1 assist they share each. I mean, Flame's up 10, which is nice. Cody Sun's up 25, and even Pobelter still keeping a pretty healthy lead of 10, so everything
for Olleh.
Yeah, you have to flash out of this one. LirA gets exhausted. Good summoner there from the support.
Yeah, actually had to use the exhaust over the wall from Hakuho. Didn't have the ultimate because he had used it previously in that attempt down bottom. So this means that they're still sticking around here.
Yeah, EnVy really focusing this bottom turret. That's where they feel like they want to put all their strength. Hakuho again going to chase down. Cody Sun going to be caught out. Oh, he hit the spell shield there with the arrow. That's not a good look at all. And LirA going to try and take him down. Apollo needs a couple more, and that's going to be the kill. Ninja and Dardoch, though, battling against each other. Good cocoon from Dardoch, but Ninja's going to fight his way out. Here's Pobelter, going to try and turn it all around. Can leap over the red buff if he needs to. Goes in on him, but there's Seraph to cover as the Sonya's pops from Ninja.
That's good. Using the parallel convergence on top of himself, but hold on. Hold on,
back in there. Trying to break out. Yep, should be okay. Almost no mana left, but didn't need too much more.
Yeah, no mana left, but they aren't going to continue that chase. Pobelter more concerned with the mid wave, getting priority there and going towards mid.
Oh, Olleh tries to save the wave. Apollo under the turret, but that's still enough for the kill, and they're going to get the turret as well.
Yep, trying to actually kill the wave and save the turret, but that's going to be that turret going over to EnVy. Mid lane priority goes over to Immortals. And also that topside Flame just got to sit there and farm for a big while. And now he gets to hang around mid, pick up the Raptors, get a little more CS for himself. Take some away from LirA.
Well, only 1,000 gold up now for Immortal, so EnVy with those last few plays, trading the turrets eventually, kind of caught themselves up as we'll watch this dive again.
Yeah, the ultimate onto Hakuho didn't actually have the shield removed there. So, yep, doesn't do anything, doesn't matter. And Cody Sun couldn't actually walk back either because Apollo put a trap right there between the wall and the turret. So he was done at that point.
I mean, again, despite the CS difference, Apollo now 2-0-1, so Minotaur Hurricane already completed, BF Sword and Berserker goes finished as well. He's going to be feeling really good about his next few minutes as he just wants to farm up and get to 2+ items where Caitlyn really starts to shine. Cody Sun, on the other hand, still ticking down like cold, does have the Essence Reaver, but needs a bit more work as Dardoch's trying to 1v1 the mid laner.
Yeah, the Elise burst just does so much right off the bat. And then it kind of becomes waiting for those cooldowns, waiting for that chip damage, because it's a lot of burst, because he's building towards the proto belt, so he has the auto attack burst damage from the revolver, he has the runic echoes, and then he just has the Elise combo of 4 abilities.
Ninja trying to cut somebody up. Pobelter diving back in onto LirA, looks for the assassination, doesn't quite find it. Arrow's gonna whiff. Needs it to be in from IMT. Pobelter gonna get the ulti blocked by Olleh as Flame is here, trying to cut them down. Does have the equalizer, but doesn't want to commit it just yet.
Yeah, and they're kind of disengaging this right now. Seraph actually has mid lane. He had to walk all the way down and started approaching this fight because he had to use his teleport, or he did use his teleport, not had to, it's actually gratuitous. He had teleported into the previous fight.
EnVy again, making sure they stay safe here on the bottom side. No turret to fall back to here in this section of the map. Hakuho just going to get some wards down, make sure the vision's prepped. And again, Immortals just consistently pushing for plays. They feel like they're ahead. They are up in gold right now. Again, 2,000. And Pobelter looking pretty strong right now. The early itemizations, trying to get out his lane as much as he can. And Dardoch is just consistently in everyone's faces because he's not afraid really of anyone. I mean, he probably can't kill Seraph on everyone, but everyone else is fair game.
Yeah, everyone else he could probably just blow up. Very squishy team. Seraph will get towards some more defensive items later on, but with the help of Flame, Seraph is still pretty easy to cook too.
EnVy, I think, just going to have to slow the game down a little bit, play a bit more reactively to IMT.
Oh, yeah. Especially since Pobelter is in danger of popping off real quick, because he's towards double lethality. He's got the pickaxe, and he's owning that lane so far, and he's got Ignite. And it's actually been pretty good for him. He got out of that last fight pretty crazy, too. Had to hop over 2 walls, almost died both times. But that's the thing you have to worry about, is this Talon could blow up somebody and could take over the game.
I almost feel like in some ways, Immortals are like, okay, we have good players. If we pick all carries, it doesn't matter if one of us doesn't play well. Somebody's going to carry the game. And to be honest, it's working. Yeah. It's kind of an old school League of Legends style, but not quite win lane win game. But Immortals just giving everyone power. They're going to go aggressive, and it's worked out so well. So far.
If we have 5 blind squirrels, eventually one of them finds the nut.
Precisely. Well, IMT looking for a Drake instead, so still not forgetting to play the map. And again, with their winning lanes, they're able to push out first, make sure they're around these objectives before EnVy, who do have to continue to play reactively, can really find anything. And Apollo does need to find quite a bit more farm, get towards that Infinity Edge. Cody Sun looking a bit better, working on his second item. I'm assuming the rune is for him as well. And of course, don't forget the Misfortune support. Still going to be doing a lot of damage from that position as well.
Yeah, once it starts getting Black Cleaver and shredding armor, I don't know if you'll go for a Last Whisper item that quickly, especially since Seraph is delaying his armor, and rightfully so. Going to stun against the wall. LirA is going to try to set this up.
Yep, good flash from Flame, but it's not quite enough to get him out. Seraph's still chasing. Great pop from LirA.
Yep. Ultimate from there. Not perfect from Flame, but the rest of it from EnVy was perfect.
Looking good. And again, the sorts of clean kills is all EnVy really need. Trades are okay for them, and that's just a bit of free extra gold going towards Seraph. LirA with a really well-timed gank. Able to pull that one off. And look at Apollo playing Gatekeeper. This mid turret's going to be up for quite a while.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm questioning right now is Immortals. I talked about their soft engage. It's kind of, you have to get that Ashe arrow. It's really reliant on Cody Sun or Dardoch for a pick. EnVy, on the other hand, they can have the point and click. They can have the engage from Seraph for the split push if it does come online. But it's so hard to get in on a team that has Caitlyn traps at their turret and that is playing defensively.
Starting to split push as well. I think trying to get Ninja out of the 1v1 versus Pobelter, but he can do plenty of split pushing with the Ekko, and of course they've got double TP.
Exactly. That's the thing, is even if he's on a side wave or anything like that, he'll get there fast in Pobelter. Talon does get there quite quickly, but he'll still be able to get there a little bit faster.
Oh, Dardoch, Proto Belt's not quite enough to finish him off, but he's going to keep chasing. Ninja pops his on his parallel convergence is down. Arrow is going to force the flash out of Ninja.
That's actually a perfectly timed Zhonya's from Ninja, because Dardoch's Q, if you saw it in the bottom left corner, was actually right coming off of cooldown.
LirA and Pobelter going to do battle. LirA's not winning that one. Oh, he actually gets it! Cancels the hurt. Ultimate animation.
I guess they're both winning that one? It's like...
They're like traded places anime style and both exploded.
Greatest anime battles. Still, Pobelter had to blow the Ignite there, and LirA still has his summoners, but oh my god. This is the burst. Pobelter was caught out.
Dardoch misses that one, but Ninja does have to ulti out. Dardoch taking big damage on the other side, but Flame able to take the turret and get the kill.
I feel like we're in for a dirty brawl in this game. I feel like it's going to be so back and forth. Ultimates will be blown. I'm waiting for Hakuho in like 5 seconds to like flash ulti somebody.
Junglers are 1v1ing, multiple different people in lanes. Well, watch how this one happened again. This is a cool duel.
Yeah, he's just walking up into the enemy jungle, sees Pobelter, auto E, and then the auto attack comes out from LirA or from Pobelter, and he was getting the bleed off and the extra damage, but LirA definitely fired the Q the right way because he only had a fraction of a second to react there, because so Pobelter went invisible.
The ultimate animation cancels well from LirA. Actually died, but still managed to get the ultimate just before he went down. So enough damage to trade with Pobelter, and LirA 2-2-2, not looking too bad. Gonna take down the Scuttle Crab, Drake up in a number of minutes, so no real reason to worry about it just yet, but it's been a scrappy game to say the very least. 2,000 gold still up for Immortals, but certainly not done anytime soon. These two teams just happy to play scrappy. Oh, that was a good cancel by LirA. There we go, that's the one you look for.
Yeah, got the flash out of Olleh, and then went straight at him. And I like that he went for the Ghost Blade first, because we're seeing a lot of people go for the Black Cleaver first item after the jungle item for Graves. And Pobelter looking to pop the Edge of Night, and now he's on to Ninja. Not going to use the wall to jump over. He might need it to escape.
Yep, Pobelter actually getting tracked by Hakuho at least, and I believe there's one other person just behind his portrait. There's LirA. Pobelter going to have to zip away. Ooh, very cute. Doesn't quite get over the whole wall, but has another wall to go over. Pobelter, perfectly fine. Oh, Apollo. Apollo. I'm not sure Apollo's fine. Dardoch's here. Cocoon misses. Pobelter's still looping over walls as Dardoch proto belts away.
Sometimes you just get, so excited and you just keep going over walls. You put the wall completely on cooldown. You can't use it for a good while. So that area is a place where they could catch the Talon out in the future. Oh, it's great to watch though.
EnVy actually have excellent wards covering the split push here for Ninjas. So again, I feel like if this is a team that we've highlighted that can get good leads in the early game but struggles to convert in macro situations, playing 1-3-1 is actually a pretty easy way to shore that up. As long as you do your homework and get your vision down effectively. Dardoch is now clearing it all out, so some of that knowledge will be reduced. But again, EnVy just kind of sticking in their lanes, knowing they can farm up, and I think the onus is still on IMT to widen this gap a little more.
Yeah, they do have the Rumble to the Renekton, so that's kind of going well for them. The Rumble will provide a whole lot of threat, and it's not something like a Karma support that will provide so many shields and heals and stuff. But they are trying, right? They haven't.
Dardoch actually think
he didn't get the W off.
Clean chrono break, gets himself out. Olleh's here, but Pobelter's going to cover it as well. Olleh picks up the kill.
There's no parallel convergence on that one, so didn't have anybody or anything to actually zone away from standing on top of his Zhonya's.
I mean, had to zone his very quickly because Dardoch is doing a pretty disgusting amount of damage. LirA going to clear the wave out with his ultimate. Effective enough. Gonna make IMT wait on this push if they want to keep going. Looks like they do. Pobelter's gonna get this wave going again.
Pobelter is 2 levels up over Ninja right now, 40 CS, and he's just dominating the side wave here. And Seraph, almost.
Dardoch missing that one. Seraph gonna be okay. Again, relatively tanky despite going 2 damage items right now. Looks like Titanic Hydra is the next one for Seraph. So Renekton gonna take a while. I mean, again, most of the champions on either team are building a lot of damage here, so I think Seraph's kind of going in the right direction, but at some point he needs to get a little tankier.
Yeah. Hakuho
getting caught, Arrow flashes into it, now Pobelter going to chase through, Exhaust was down on him as Olleh tries to cover with the ulti. Pobelter gets out to the right side over the wall, but Seraph's going to track him down. Apollo, he's going to track him with the ultimate. Seraph just flashes in for the E. Pobelter goes over the wall again, and Seraph can't chase anymore.
Oh, that's just so frustrating. You're like, how do we kill this guy? How do we kill Talon? He's just so mobile, and you have to catch him out in the same area twice, and that was further up than previously. So now a lot of those walls are actually coming off of cooldown, because Pobelter's just such a high level now. 26 minutes into the game, he's still level 15, or he's level 15, so he has 2 points into his E.
You can see Flame actually was also shoving in the top lane. Ninja forced to go up there and answer that tower that almost went down. So IMT kind of doing EnVy strat a little bit better so far in this game. EnVy though will get a Drake for themselves, so we'll even the objective count up there. It's going to be Ocean versus Cloud, but EnVy will be happy to take this down regardless.
Yeah, like you said, it's not really a comfortable lead for Immortals yet against EnVy. Only about 2,000. Baron on the table, and that could be the swing.
Apollo also getting stronger. Infinity Edge is now completed. Cody Sun did go for an early Quicksilver Sash before he finished his runes, but he now has that as well. So Immortals have just been kind of farming where appropriate, but then using the aggression of Pobelter and Dardoch together to try and make sure they maintain pressure on their EnVy. And Flame, that means he's got free time to farm up. He almost has 3 damage items built up, looking for the Void Staff third.
He'll hit that pretty soon as well. He has about 900, he has 1,000 gold in his inventory, so he's practically there. Pobelter, though, going for a Black Cleaver on Talon. That's his 3rd item here. Not going for even more lethality or the Duskblade or anything like that. Going for a little bit of tankiness, CDR, help him out a whole bunch, too.
Just wants him dead.
Yep.
Wants him really dead.
It's also, he doesn't want to die a bit there, too. It's 400 HP from that item now.
Not too bad. It's kind of funny to watch this game, because it really is just about side lanes at this point. We have 2 different split pushes on either side. We do have 2 teleports for EnVy, but Pobelter is mobile enough, and IMT are proactive enough that that's been okay. And then there's just these 2 out of mid lane turrets that have been there for, well, obviously the whole game. Yeah. Almost 30 minutes in, and they still haven't been taken down. So both teams just going to have to play really elongated lanes in League of Legends, while the AD carries just hang out mid and farm up a storm.
But this is where EnVy actually kind of suffer, because their lane assignments have been weak in the past and rotating. So if Immortals keep going back and forth and they're actually to out tempo them and get there just a few seconds faster a couple of times, it could lead to an objective or an objective advantage.
Just feels like IMT, again, always ahead on the play.
Yeah, right here though, Envy, no real way to start this fight up, guaranteed, like a hard engage. But Ninja decides to come here, and he's actually forfeiting top lane right now. That's Pobelter now gets a track to run around, zone him off.
Might even just go in for Ninja. Doesn't go for it. Ninja instead takes us safely over a wall.
Yeah, but now he has so much damage on this top turret. This may actually be the top turret going down. They may have to bring Hakuho up here too, because this is just, yeah, Pobelter.
Yeah, he wants it, but Ninja's there instead. Leaps over a wall, pops the ultimate, and that's Talon out. Level 16 now as well, so about 45 seconds on that cooldown. You can see it's almost back up there.
Yep, and when he gets to the Black Cleaver, it gets so low. Yeah, 42 seconds right now. Oh, man. Yeah, it just pops it over and over again. Ridiculous.
And this was always Talon's thing with his ultimate. It had a long cooldown. Used it in lane before. Just aggressively all in and harass them out of lane. And now again can still use it to get in and out of a fight or all in somebody if he catches a sloppy rotation from MV.
Yeah. Also escape from split pushing if you get caught out. That's one of the things that people are playing like Talon top and they're still bringing Ignite because your TP is basically you E over a bunch of walls to get there faster. And if you need to escape, your escape tool is your E over walls, but also your R.
Well, Black Cleaver now done for Pobelter, so that's looking good for him. And again, Immortals just seem very comfortable with the pace of this game, continually applying side lane pressure, feel like they can kind of keep Envy out for long enough that eventually they'll take down some of these towers. I mean, the out and mid lane turrets are kind of a sore thumb for both teams, but big damage onto the tier 2 top side. Flame is continually working this bottom half as well. And at some point, Envy run out of vision around the major objectives, run out of lanes to defend, and Immortals break the game wide open.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a game that was going to be really brawly off the back at the beginning, where we saw just assassins going back and forth and trading. But this looks like the macro play here. They saw Renekton on the bottom side. They saw too many people mid. And now they can't check this. Vision's been denied. They throw down the orb. Let's see. Is LirA there?
Oh, LirA, very nice attempt, but Dardoch holds onto the smite. And IMT secure a very easy Baron for themselves. And that's what I'm saying. Like, all this pressure's been building up for Immortals. Sure, they haven't got some kills or really anything in the last little while, but what they did get is vision, and they turn that into a big objective.
Yep, the Baron buff for the 3 minutes and 30 seconds that they'll have it here. And the lack of wave clear as well for Envy. They don't have anything like a Victor or Orianna, etc. So it's actually hard to actually kill these caster minions and these, or sorry, the melee minions, the ones that get the damage reduction on them, with just Ninja throwing out Qs, and he's underleveled.
Yep, and Baron, of course, is a pushing buff, so what's the best way to use it? Push every single lane.
1-3-1.
Exactly, IMT. Should be able to run a tried and true strategy here. Pobelter now assigned to the bottom lane. Flame pops back up to the top. And the trio here for IMT, Dardoch, Cody Sun, and Olleh, feeling relatively safe because Envy are just trying to get multiple people to a lane to get a gank, and IMT are continually exploiting that.
Yeah, and dodging it too. Like, Flame just went down. Seraph was actually trying to come up, and that means Seraph's not answering the bottom split push. This will be this bottom tier 2 going down. They're trying to get something top, like you said, and it's just going to cost them instead.
TP for Ninja going to try something, but I think Cody Sun might have spotted him. Good wards from Immortals. Trooping they get out here, but Pobelter getting jumped on, stunned up by Seraph. Dardoch going to try and save him, but an oh my god, Hakuho just gets deleted, and Pobelter is going to leap himself out of the way. Olleh not so lucky as LirA flashes in, dies in midair with the blast cone. LirA finally takes out the Talon, but Apollo burnt down. Oh no, Rumble ult, not quite enough.
He's getting some extra damage and healing there, but Cody Sun can't make it into this fight. Cody Sun is zoned off. He's going to have to go for the mid lane instead.
Flame trying to do something very heroic. Dardoch as well. I think just trying to escape. He does manage to kill Apollo.
There's no blast cone.
Flame goes down. Dardoch's the one to try and escape. Ninja flashes forward. Phase dives on a Dardoch for the kill.
And that's the whole risk that you run when you have a Talon on your team. They got to the bottom turret, they got the tier 2, but the TP from Ninja, perfectly placed, gets the flank, and then they collapse. And Cody Sun really didn't have anything to say in that fight. He just contributes an arrow, whereas the rest of Envy are actually there, even if Hakuho dies instantly.
Got the mid lane turret, so not too bad for Immortals, but they'll lose 4 of their 5 Baron buffs. Only Cody Sun will have it for just over a minute. So the dreams of 1-3-1. Dash somewhat. He won't be nearly as effective as they could have been, and now Ninja's going to chase down Cody Sun, overstaying his welcome here in top lane. He's going to try and fight it out, but Ninja pops his on his. Cody Sun's going to keep running away. He's got his arrow, he's got his fly. Might even win the 1v1 here, but Ninja pops a chrono. Cody Sun flashes forward. Very nicely played. But now he's got to fight Hakuho. He's like, all right, you want this one as well, Hakuho? I was like, no, not really.
I feel lied to by all those 80 carry 2017 guys. What was that?
That was a 1v1.
That was a 1v1 from an AShe against an Ekko.
What are you talking about? That's what always happens in that match.
All right, man. I'm moving to AD carry. Oh, my God. But Cody Sun actually just has so much CS, and he's so far ahead at the moment. And he has magic resistance by having the QSS, so it's a little bit unexpected from what you would normally have as an AD carry. So Cody Sun is a bit ahead of the curve, and I don't think Ninja was expecting that.
Olleh is dead, though. Yep, Boydling's going to finish it off. Hakuho managing to find a kill. Again, Immortals, a little too aggressive positioning-wise there in the enemy jungle, but they are certainly proactive. You cannot criticize Immortals for their gusto in this game.
Oh, yeah. That's why I thought it was going to be brawly as stuff started to go down. Let's see this here. Baron buffed up minions. Definitely helped Ninja, too. They start doing extra damage, but kills him quickly. Cannon's still sticking around. And, yeah, Cody Sun holds the arrow appropriately. Ulti back there. Flashes forward. Ugh. So good.
Ooh, that's a dead Pobelter again. Couldn't make it over the wall. Apollo snipes him down. He's actually got 3.5 items. So
yeah,
the scaling for EnVyUs starting to get there. I mean, it's been really, really chaotic.
It has been. It's been a game that's so hard to track because it's like one person's dying over here, another one's dying over there. LirA's dead. Pobelter's dead. Olleh got caught before the replay. It's like just trading one for one back and forth off of duels and skirmishes here. It's a very intense game in that regard.
I mean, it looks sloppy for Immortals, but they're still very far ahead in this game.
And now turrets.
Now 5 turrets to 1. They have a significant goal lead of about 6,000, managing to get a decent Baron power play there. And eventually, if EnVyUs don't do something a little more decisive, Immortals, despite kind of getting themselves killed single file, will eventually get a big enough lead to win this game.
Yep. Seraph was looking for a flank of some kind. Actually gets his home guards removed by Olleh, so it's the right play there. But TP gone, and now they're going to have to push mid lane instead. But yeah, like you were saying, EnVyUs are actually failing a little bit in the macro. They're winning some of these fights. They actually are up in kills, as you see. But problem is, they lost that bottom tier 2. Then the fight happened. Immortals lost the fight, but Immortals got the tier 2 bottom. They got the tier 1 mid, and you have to include all of that in that play when you look at it. You can't be like, okay, man, we won a team fight here. What happened for EnVyUs? It's like, no, they actually lost because of the pressure on the map.
And that's the thing, like at this stage, it's 35.5 minutes into this game. EnVyUs with only 1 turret, still don't have mid wide open with the outer turret being there. Like EnVyUs, even if they wanted to make plays, just have so few options because of how unevenly the map is split. And IMT just continually shoving outsiders, so EnVyUs always have to run back and fix the problem, because if they don't, the split will just going to keep happening, and they'll start losing turrets, they'll start maybe losing people if they get out-rotated, and then eventually, they just inhibitors start to explode, and they lose the game.
Yeah, it's just a rough road for EnVyUs. They're winning some of these fights, but they're losing in gold, mostly off the macro, but also they have to just shore that up, and that's not something that you do mid-game, especially when it's like, your turrets are gone, you have to win you have to go back to what you were doing, win a fight the same way you did, and be like, okay, there's no tier 2 or tier 1 to take now, so now it's our turn to get something back. So they kind of have to keep doing what they were doing from a deficit, and it's actually so hard to do because, like, right there, I like that he's picking that up because the Baron's up in a minute. He's going to pull Flame down here, but I don't feel like he's going to actually accomplish too much because his TP is down, so he has to go to the Baron if they have any chance of actually contesting it.
And that's probably EnVyUs' best window into this game. They're scaling up nicely. Apollo now has 3 completed diamond items and that QSS. Ekko's got 4. Seraph's starting to get a bit tankier. Like, they've got their items kind of completed now. And so really, if EnVyUs is saying, okay, we're winning a lot of these fights, we don't want to get run around and out-rotated, they probably just go to Baron and force a fight onto Immortals.
And like, Seraph is so tanky now, especially in comparison to any member on Immortals, because they're all just so squishy. You misplay, you actually misposition as an Immortals member, you could get blown up. And we're looking at, like, I think 3 health items in the entire game for Immortals, plus the 2 Leandries. So yeah, there's, there's about 5.
Does feel a little Assassin's movie.
Yeah, 5,
totally agree with that.
Yeah, it's like Black Cleaver, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 5.
Revisited Blood Moon mode. Arrow into Seraph is a big engage from Immortals. Pobelter takes 1 down. And that Cronenberg going to get popped by Ninja. Pobelter gets another. He gets a double kill as Flame. Got 1 on the back end there as well. Dardoch trying to chase him, but a good zonage from Ninja will save him for a little bit longer. Cody Sun on a killing spree as he takes down Apollo, and Ninja's the only one left standing.
Yep, Ninja by himself. Teleport up, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about this. No tank on the Baron, though, and Dardoch is going to have to get some HP back. Leave those for him. Leave the honey fruit. And yes, there they go.
Yep, Flame actually is going to do the honors for a little while. try and take out what they can. This is dangerous from Immortals. Dardoch actually smited for a bit of extra health, but they know they've got the damage, and certainly EnVy aren't coming to contest.
Yeah, that felt like that was in fast forward mode, because that was just so fast how quickly they took it and how everybody was moving around it. But yeah, and Seraph, face checks, he's tanky, but not tanky enough to eat a whole equalizer, stand on top of it. A backline is simultaneously getting wrecked. Hakuho goes down as well, and Pobelter with the backline entrance. And Apollo, and Cody Sun is actually just out-farming him really hard right now. It's about 60 up, and is doing a great job.
Having a good game, certainly. Got himself caught out kind of one time around that midsection. But
yeah, it was his first death.
Other than that, been looking good. Immortals now up to a huge lead of over 9,000 gold. Woo. You can see Pobelter and Flame teaming up in that last fight. Getting that much damage done as a Talon in a team fight is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and especially since Seraph only contributed 400, and he soaked a lot of abilities. You're thinking this Renekton, oh yeah, he's going to take the arrow, he's going to take the cocoon, whatever.
Got stunned as well. Pobelter just does not care, going in for anybody. And there's 2 kills. Cody Sun gets one, Olleh gets the other, but the dual end split the difference. Now Ninja getting burnt down by Flame, blast cones away. Harpoon not quite tagging him on the other end.
There's just so much damage here from the Immortals composition. The Talon just blowing up the AD carry. Apollo gets to pretty much do nothing.
And this is the point. EnVy kind of needed to a little bit more time to scale up, and Immortals just said, you know what, we're strong enough, we can break open a fight. They didn't want to go to Baron and risk it getting stolen, risking having a bad team fight. Instead, they take all the vision, they win the team fight handily, and then take Baron and bust through mid.
Yeah, it goes back to that first Baron sneak that happened from Immortals where they picked it up, the game was kind of stagnant, same gold lead for a while, and then they're able to actually pick up a lot afterwards. And Pobelter has ulti again.
Going in, I mean, Hakuho is just eating 3 autos. That's going to be enough for the kill. Ninja going down as well. There's a double. Ooh, baby. Pobelter looking good. There's another inhibitor. Bottom falling down for EnVy as Immortal's going to charge it in.
Yeah, Pobelter, he tweeted that, man, he's slumping. Oh, old Pobelter is going to wait for him to come back. Looks like old Pobelter is maybe in the house today. We'll see, because he's playing the assassin, and actually he's working out.
Nexus turret's falling down. EnVy trying to defend that last little bit of land. Pobelter with the GA, so not feeling too upset about it all. Flame just zones him off, throwing next with an equalizer for Apollo. Gets his own solo kill. It's all style here from Immortals. Gonna win game 1 versus EnVy.
And in fashion, too. 40 minutes, not the quickest game, but still. They ended up being able to play the 1-3-1, outplay, solo kill at the beginning of the game, 2 minutes in from Pobelter.
And we had a section in the middle there where things did slow down a bit. Had 14 kills in the first 10 to 15 minutes and kind of slowed it down to the 25. But Immortals knew they were continually in control. They had enough of a lead to play with. They knew they had the pressure in the side lane, converted it into a clean Baron, and then took it from there. And that's just continuing the narrative for me. And that Immortals, when they're ahead, they're very good at staying ahead.
Yeah, very good. And I think that, Pobelter, he actually played the way that Talon is supposed to be played. He got the kill early. EnVy were pretty bad at playing defense. He got to split push. He got to actually dodge a bunch of ganks and then get something on the other side of the map because of the 1-3-1. But also, he just did so much damage that game. He's the highest damage dealer in the whole game as a Talon. And that's something that's actually quite hard to accomplish because usually there's somebody dealing AoE damage like the Rumble. Or you have the Ashe who stays alive longer usually in the back. So the fact that he was able to blow somebody up and still stay in the fight was really big.
And we didn't have enough health to take the sustained damage. It felt like we're about to kill too many people. We're going to break down that game here. I have to say, I actually love this draft from Immortals. We are going to check out the replay. This was the game-winning team fight, effectively. They already set it up, and it's a quick 4-0.
Yeah, Hakuho actually just gets blown up residually from the equalizer and the bullet time both coming across. And so he really didn't really do too much this game at all. And Apollo gets dueled by Cody Sun, but I love that Pobelter on the back line played it the way he was supposed to play, the entry point. That's very important for Talons is how you get into the fight, and do you have an exit route as well? Because he got into that fight, and then he blew up primary targets, got to on who he needed to get to, and just continued to duel all the way up and provide much-needed pressure.
Yeah, and it just looks super clean from Immortals. But again, going back to the draft, I think if you're coming into this sort of game, you're saying, hey, we should look good, do something like this. What's EnVy bad at? Macro. What are they good at? Early game. Fine. We'll pick strong laners. we'll play aggressive where we can afford to and take our opportunities, and then just 1-3-1 them to death because we know EnVy can't keep up with us.
Yeah, even if you're losing the game, 1-3-1 is still a pretty good strategy against EnVy, even when they try to do it themselves with the double teleport. Just because you saw how even Seraph tries to gank for the other teleport lane by walking there, loses the bottom turret, gives up Drake control, and so it just ends up being a bit of a disaster as EnVy try to help each other, but they're ending up not helping themselves, which leaves a whole bunch of openings.
Yeah, and Immortals still played maybe over-aggressive in a certain amount of spots. Pobelter got himself killed, roaming down to the bottom lane. Dardoch was just completely over-aggressive in spots, but it didn't cost him too much here. You have to think that Immortals, this is going to catch up to them, but at least in this game versus EnVy, able to, you know, take risks and not be punished too heavily for them.
Yeah, they're able to take a lot of risk. Even I think picking the Talon is a bit of a risk, especially blind, because you don't know what you're going to be going up against. You don't know if they're just going to play some type of control major, throw you for a curveball in the mid lane. So it was a big risk, but it definitely paid off. And EnVy, they're still sitting at 2-9 right now. There's still more games to play, but this has to weigh on them a little bit because they just got styled on right now. Pobelter definitely popped off in that game, and I think that they got kind of torn apart, and there were glimpses of hope, but I feel like there were ones that were kind of handed to them by Immortals, overreaching with things like the Talon or diving too much.
I mean, bullied in every lane. Jungle really was the shining light, but even LirA couldn't make enough plays. That's the thing for me. Like, LirA, he was in the right spots, but he just felt like he was pretty quickly losing control of that game.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a game where the enemy team has all squishy members, so Immortals, they'll actually lose some skirmishes, and they were down in kills at one point, but up drastically in turrets, and that's just the macro game right there. That's how you're doing your lane allocations, and that's what EnVy is really suffering at.
Well, we'll see if Team EnVy can even up the score when we come back with Game 2 up against Immortals. A rough start for Talon, although Pobelter actually looking good now, right?
Going after him.
Olin, he's got Ignite as well. Ignite down Pobelter! There's a solo kill. LirA and Pobelter are going to do battle. LirA's not winning that one. Oh, he actually gets it! Cancels the ultimate animation.
I guess they're both winning that one? It's like...
They're like trade of places, anime style, running away. He's got his arrow, he's got his fly. Might even win the 1v1 here, but Ninja pops a chrono back.
Oh my God.
Very nicely played.
Oh, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me.
I got Renekton.
We win.
I got Ekko. I can flash on Kate.
We win.
I got Phase.
Look for Kate.
Pobelter has ulti again.
Going in. I mean, Hakuho's just eating 3 autos. That's going to be enough for the kill. Ninja going down as well. There's a double. It's all style here from Immortals. Going to win game 1 versus EnVy.